Before we get into the video, a couple of safety things we must go through. So first thing, unplug the machine from the power supply. Isolate that plug so nobody else can plug it back in while you're working on it. Wear some safety gloves because inside the machine there's some very sharp edges. And lastly, if you're not confident doing this, contact your local repair agent to help you out. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to remove and replace a drain pump on a washing machine. Now, the drain pump is very often, in most cases anyway, attached to the front of the cabinet by 2, maybe 3 screws. So I'm going to whip them out in a moment, but then you're going to need to get underneath the appliance to deal with the pump. So what I'm going to do for the benefit of the video is I'm going to lay the machine down on its side so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'd just like to point out there's no real requirement for you to do that. You can just lean the machine back and get at it from underneath. Now, one thing you must do before you even think about taking the pump off is make sure you've got all the water out of the tank first. Now, I'm not going to walk you through that. I'll tell you how to do that because we do have another video on that, in particular the one that talks about the filter on the front. So first, check that out. There'll be a link in the description below. But once you've got all the water out, then you can quite safely deal with the drain pump itself. As I mentioned in that previous video, there's almost no way you can deal with a pump or replace a pump without spilling a little bit of water. So it's definitely a good idea to have a couple of towels ready. So in a moment, I'm going to lay the machine down, reposition the camera and come right back to you. Right, I've got the pump unscrewed from the front of the machine now. So the pump is now loose. So the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the electrical connection going to it. That gives us a bit more room and the pump can manoeuvre into some better positions now. So all that's really attaching the pump now are these hoses. So this big hose here is what we call the sump hose, and this one here is the drain hose. So all we need to do now is take the spring clips off here, which requires nothing more than a pair of pliers just to squeeze these together. Now, I have drained the water out of this, but there might still be a little dribble come out. That's why I've got a towel on the bottom of the cabinet just to catch it. So, I'll start with this one. That's that one. And now for this one. That's that. And that there is your drain pump removed. Now, if you are replacing the pump, sometimes it'll come complete with the filter housing on the front here. Sometimes it'll just come as the pump itself. Now, in this instance, the pump is just attached to here with a sort of twisting method. So if I just spin that slightly, it pops off. That's your drain pump there. So reattaching it, just the same in reverse. Line it up, twist, lock it back into place. So now we're going to reattach the pump. So I'm going to get this hose on first. So that's one spring clip. So that's the waste hose reconnected. Now I'm going to get the sump hose back on. That's the sump hose back into position, and I've got the spring clip. Now, good thing to do at this stage is just have a little look around the pipes. Just make sure that they're fully onto the pump on both instances, and they both look good. So that is your pump, new pump fitted. So I'm going to reconnect the power for the pump. That is that. Then I'm going to reattach it to the front of the appliance. Right, so that is how you remove and replace a drain pump on a washing machine.